Yes, I'm going to get into a directing analysis of Vertigo, which is directed by Alfred Hitchcock, released in the year 1958. This just utilizes all kinds of incredible techniques from start to finish. Just a lot of zoom ins, a lot of just heavily colorful symbolism looming all throughout. With framing that's just out to convey themes of obsession, psychological trauma, and unreliable essence, and felt to found reality. As Alfred Hitchcock just has an innovative way of using the video effect by way of like dolly zooms, which conveys all kinds of just spirals and visuals, along with Herman's soundtrack, which is very haunting and mesmerizing. Is Hitchcock's immersive directing just gets straight directly into like feelings of facing directly the face of obsession and feeling haunted by memories. And the most forward-thinking, ahead of its time way possible. Like for a late 50s project, it's really insane how forward-thinking this is to so many decades to follow. Like, no one just as Hitchcock displays just all kinds of crazy images. It just electrifies a very emotional, psychological impact on how James Stewart is depicted. Certainly his darkest, most warped role of his I've seen. And also the most visually colorful film of Hitchcock's entire filmography. A lot of red and green color schemes are representing just a lot of passion and finding a lot of reincarnation within psychological states. His characters are just often will class with the nature of the plot, which just it's like a dreamy sequence, a massive dreamy sequence unfolding, which just ultimately leaves a dizzying influence. It's been intended to feel dizzy, literally, and Hitchcock just has plenty of moments with all these tight framing and just all these particular kind of camera angles, which maximizes on just this anxiety-inducing sort of note, which often feels like it's frighteningly too close up on a lot of awkward scenarios, and this just reflects on a lot of deep subconscious layers. How characters are feeling ways that are just really forward thinking. A lot of David Lynch, and just a lot of like I think the 70s, 80s, 90s cinema in general. Just this is just very, very ahead of its time. As all of this just escalates in a very slow paced kind of way. It's very ghostly how it's all conveyed, very haunting in its atmosphere. Characters who are facing dark depths of obsession around an inescapable cycle, which just ultimately leaves the characters feeling like they're trapped in some sort of ways. Hitchcock conveys that Stewart's just overwhelmed with obsessed with Kim Novak, which drives him to realizing that past memories in order to recreate a spark a lot in every sense of the word. And it's just a wonderful balance of just dreamy perspective and as it meshes with reality, which turns out to be quite gloomy, as this foreshadows all kinds of just. Again, it's like David Lynch, Roman Polanski, and like Martin Scorsese elements. Everything's perceived that way of an obsessive voyeur. It's very abstract in conveying sense and visual experience. It has a completely original way of visual composition from start to finish. Like, it's mesmerizing. How some of these scenes are just so slow paced. It's just very forward thinking, so it's just kind of like letting moments breathe. Even forward thinking like Michelangelo Antonioni, like the way like the moments are just very detail oriented. You're just kind of constantly close up and just like kind of original sort of thriller sort of perspective, extremely psychological thriller kind of way. This is just groundbreaking project from start to finish.